In an industry stuffed with marketing bullshit, empty promises, and shiny-suited liars, one woman's had enough. She knows what it's like to have the wrong clients, no money, and no time for fun. But she also knows how to fix it. And on the Business for Superheroes show, she promises to tell the down and dirty truth about business, sales, and running away with the circus. Here's your host, Vicky Fraser.
And welcome to the Business for Superheroes show. I'm Vicky Fraser, your host, and this is Joe.
Hello.
Hello. You all right?
A bit startled. You didn't give me much lead into that.
I gave you the normal amount of lead into that.
No, not as much. Anyway, hello.
Hi. This is the Business for Superheroes show. And we are in the midst of a little series on hostage negotiation, which is basically persuasion, which is basically what we're all in the business of doing.
It's true.
So, but yeah, we're a bit knackered, aren't we? It's Monday. It's Monday evening.
Monday evening, and we've had a bit of a weekend.
Yeah.
There's been...
including hangovers.
Too much drinking.
Oh.
There have been hangovers. There has been a lot of running around with railway sleepers, which is not easy.
I haven't been running around with railway sleepers.
No, you have not.
I was in the pub. there was Dingle Gin, and then there was with me and Joe drinking the Dingle Gin, and with the drunken farmer boys in the pub, who
very kindly decided to help us move all of the ridiculous sleepers from the yard at the back of the house to the top of the garden.
There were 15 of them. There were 14 of them. Because we did 2 of them between the 2 of us, and they were a bit alarming, weren't they?
They're pretty heavy things, and we've got to get them
like
upstairs.
100 kilos?
Yeah, something like that. And then, you got to get them upstairs and across lawns, and then up grassy slopes, and then across lawns.
Yeah. Which we would have done okay if it had been flat, because it wasn't so much that they were really heavy, although they were just awkward. And
dangerous.
Yeah, dangerous, because you don't want to be walking backwards up a slope and have it and slip over and have it land on your leg, because that's a broken leg. So we thought we would let the drunken farmer boys do it in the pitch dark,
which they did.
We were all slightly tipsy, and they were like, "Yeah, we could do that." And so Joe disappeared off with 2 of the lads, and came back after a little while they had a beer break, and then disappeared back out again. And if you saw my daily email this morning, you will see the state that the railway sleepers ended up in, and it basically looked like a giant had picked them all up, thrown them in the air, and gone, "Fuck it."
That was not anything that could be described a stack.
No, it was a jumble.
It was a huge jumble.
Yes. But we then, yesterday, pretty much, we unjumbled them.
Yes.
You and me and my dad. And we now have
Hi, Adrian.
Hi, Dad. And now we have 2 raised beds.
Yeah.
Which is really exciting, and they look great.
We need a couple of tons of soil to go in there. But
yeah, they're empty at the moment with kind of grass and weeds in them, so I need to rotivate them or something. And probably membrane them so that we don't die of creosote.
Yes, creosote potatoes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we've been doing all weekend, basically. But last week, back to business. Last week we were talking about... Well, let's go back through the 5 stages of hostage negotiation, Joe.
Okay.
Talk us through.
Right, we've done this before, so I'm moving quickly. Active listening, empathy, rapport, influence, and behavioural change. And
where do most people start, Joe?
Most people foolishly start at the influence stage by saying something approximating, "Buy my shit."
Yes.
"Buy my stuff, it's great. Buy my thing."
And most people are very turned off by that.
They do not like it.
Do not like it.
Because you have not gained any rapport, you have not
built trust,
demonstrated empathy, you've not built trust,
they don't like
listened
you yet
to them, it's just not going to work.
It's just not going to work. So, last week, we went in detail into active listening, really, because that's the first stage.
We did go into active listening.
And we got some very good feedback from
Did we?
Yeah.
No, I never see the feedback. Nobody ever emails me.
It's not your business.
Oh.
I mean, it's kind of your business, but business for superheroes is not your business.
That's true.
I'll share them with you.
A little bit of feedback.
Okay, I'll share them with you.
Jeez.
People liked it.
Good.
So this week. By the way, did you know that NYPD hostage negotiators are taught to spend 80% of their time listening and only 20% talking?
Really?
Yeah. That's pretty good rule of life for most people, I would say. No, for if you're, trying to find out if you're talking to new customers.
You've got to be careful with that kind of thing, though, because I spend about, 40% of my time listening, 10% of my time talking, and 50% of my time is just goldfish.
It's not just goldfish.
It really is.
It's just goldfish.
I have a talent. Goldfish.
Joe has nothing going on in his head for 50% of the time. I don't know how
It's real peaceful in here.
Oh, that baffles me. It's really noisy in my head.
It's lovely in here. You should try it.
I have tried it. I think you're like a secret. If you could bottle that, I think we'd make bazillions, because people pay like gurus bazillions to learn how to meditate and clear their heads, and it sounds like you can just do it.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
Just don't think about anything.
No, don't tell them.
Oh, right, sorry.
Because we need to
buy my book. I'll write a book.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's such a good idea. Okay, so Joe's going to write a book. Well, actually, what will happen is that I will write the book under Joe's name. It'll be $1 million bestseller, because that kind of shit always happens to me. And yeah,
I'll be rich.
I'll be rich. We'll be rich.
I'll be rich.
We won't be rich. We'll be able to finish the house.
We could get a bathroom.
We could get a bathroom.
And some oak and everything.
Anyway, we appear to have wandered somewhat off topic. So yeah, 80% of your time listening, 20% of your time talking.
50% of your time goldfish.
No, well, that's just you, love. But obviously this is in the early negotiation stages.
Right.
With your prospects and stuff. A bit later you're going to have to do more of the talking.
Mm-hmm.
But right now we need to listen. So there you go. So in any negotiation, Joe, who do we give the most concessions to?
The people with the chicken hostages. The man in the explosive underwear.
No.
The person who has laid booby traps all over town.
No.
Oh. I'm reading the notes now. Okay, we give concessions to the people we like. Oh, I'm not sure that's true.
It is. We do things for people we like.
What about the explosive underwear and the bombs all over town? Give them concessions.
What? You'd be a terrible negotiator.
I'll be. But
no, you want them to give concessions to you. You're the hostage negotiator. If you're talking to the exploding underwear man,
I'm going to have to give him some concessions.
No, he needs to give. You want him to give you concessions. That's the point. You want him to take off his explosive underwear and put it somewhere safe.
Yeah, but if he says, I need a ham sandwich, you're going to give him a ham sandwich, aren't you? Because he's got explosive underwear.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
You've completely derailed my entire podcast now. You're fired.
Jesus, sorry. Anyway, we give things to people we like.
But we do give things to people we like.
Okay, can we say in the absence of exploding underwear?
If you like, yes.
Or bombs all over town.
Yeah, but even if you are negotiating the dismantling of explosive underwear, you're going to have to, at some point, you'll give him a ham sandwich and all that crap, but you're at some point going to have to get him to do what you want him to do.
Right.
Because
so
otherwise
when you say most concessions, you're kind of going qualitative rather than quantity.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Largest concessions.
Yeah, and if you want the explosive underwear man to do what you want, he's going to have to like you. Because if he doesn't like you, I mean, if you don't like somebody, if there's somebody that you don't like and they ask you to do something, are you going to do it? 9 times out of 10, you're not, are you? If he's
I'm going to preface a lot of this podcast with, in the absence of exploding underwear.
Okay, fair enough. In the absence of exploding underwear, I think that can probably be taken as a given in most situations, most of the time. What kind of a world do you live in at work?
Where I'm negotiating hostage release.
Really?
Well, no, but...
I thought you were an engineer. Have you been living like a secret spy life?
Damn it.
Oh, whatever. Anyway, you've completely ruined my podcast.
Sorry, people we like are the ones we give things to.
Yeah, and people who understand us.
Okay.
We do things for people who understand us. We like people who understand us.
That's true, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, that's not the only criteria for liking somebody, but if they show that they understand you, you're more likely to like them. Certainly more likely to trust them.
In the absence of exploding underwear, yes.
that's gonna start to irritate me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Anyway, basically, we need to exhibit empathy.
Empathy
is what I was kind of desperately trying to draw the conversation around to, and utterly failing. I feel like I failed. No, I feel like I failed at life today.
I'm a problem solver. I see problems. I try and solve them.
You didn't do a very good job of preventing me from dropping my phone in the toilet last night, which is another reason, by the way, that I'm failing at life today. Last night, I dropped my phone in the toilet. Again. Once is unfortunate. Twice is idiotic.
Yes.
I don't know if I've just plugged it in. I mean, it's obviously been nestling in rice all day, so
yeah.
Fingers crossed, eh? I felt really bad because Siri was shouting stuff at me from the toilet bowl. And I was like, oh my God, I've drowned Siri. And then I was like, no, Siri, no, I don't think I have drowned Siri. I don't think that's how Siri works. But actually that thought process happened in my head as I was staring at my phone on the bottom of the toilet. Clean toilet, I hasten to add. Anyway. Right. So the thing is, empathy. We need to exhibit empathy. And here is what empathy is all about. This is a song that I found, and it's an awesome song by Joe South and the Believers, and it's called Walk a Mile in My Shoes.
I guess we discovered this was legal and we could use it.
Yeah! Podfly told me I could.
Thanks, Podfly guys.
Thanks, Podfly guys. So here it is. I'm hoping that if this is tinny and awful, they'll clean it up for me. But it's a really good song. Go and listen to it.
If I could be you, and you could be me, for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's mind. If you could see you through my eyes instead of your ego, I believe you'd be surprised to see that you've been blind. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Hey, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Did you like the professional fade out then, did you?
That was great. You slid that YouTube volume knob to the left really nicely.
I know, right? So I think that's an awesome country song because I love country music. Kind of rhythm bluesy country stuff.
Country?
Is it not country?
It's not country.
It's rhythm and bluesy country stuff.
Okay.
Bluesy. I'm not a musical expert. I know what I like. Okay. I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, but if you listen to the lyrics, you will have noticed that it was all about walking a mile in my shoes, putting yourself in my head, understanding how I feel. And maybe you'll realise you're a dick. Which was kind of the underflow of that. And also maybe have been pointed at you with your exploding underwear, and maybe if you got into my head you would realise that I was thinking, you need to stop that now.
Okay.
So
nice.
Yeah, so it was really good. And I love that song and it's ace. So yeah, basically that's the whole thrust of the episode.
That's it really. We're done.
Home now.
Yeah. Time for dinner.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Me too.
Should we talk a little bit about empathy, though?
We should.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so, empathy, yeah. You need to basically get inside somebody's head. And to do that, you need to listen to them so you can learn about them. And if you listen very, very, very carefully to people...
With all of your newfound listening skills.
All of your newfound listening skills, you can discover people's hooks and hot buttons.
Hooks and hot buttons.
Yes. Sounds a bit rude, doesn't it? It's not. So hooks are the things that someone enjoys or likes talking about.
Okay.
Something that will hook them in, like a fish.
Good fish. I'm not sure. Mime. Works so well.
That's why I did a sound effect as well. And hot buttons are things that make people angry or upset or depressed. In the kind of social justice warrior safe space fucking fairyland, that would be called triggers.
Right. Sounds like that's one of your hot buttons.
It is, actually, because, not being an expert
is now the time?
in psychology or anything. Well, no, the thing is, though, it's probably worth mentioning because it's a term that I think has been misappropriated from people who are actually triggered in a kind of post-traumatic stress disorder way. Mm-hmm. So, like, if a car backfires.
Yes.
Do you remember that episode of The West Wing with Josh?
Yes.
When the car backfired or something. No, it was the sirens, wasn't it? It was violins and things. He was listening to music.
No, I can't remember.
Anyway, but yeah, a car backfires and someone with PTSD might kind of go into this kind of reliving his, trauma. And it's been kind of appropriated by special snowflakes to say you can't even talk about anything in case
Somebody gets upset.
somebody gets upset about it, which is just pathetic. And it doesn't do people who have had traumatic experiences any good either, because they have to live in the world as it is, not in the world as I would like it to be. So I'm probably going to get letters about that, but frankly, I couldn't give a shit. Because this is one of those things that I'm fairly sure I'm right about.
Yeah. Hi, special snowflakes.
Knob off. So yeah, but I mean the trigger thing is that's kind of what I'm talking. I'm certainly not talking about trying to trigger people with PTSD or people with genuine trauma who are gonna.
That's why it's a hot button, not a trigger.
That's why it's a hot button, yeah. But yeah, things that piss people off. So let's give people a few examples here. So telephone menus can be hot buttons for people. If you're trying to get through to a bank to talk about something fairly urgent and you're just stuck in this kind of seventh circle of hell and being passed around, and press 2 if you want this and 5 if you want that, and then you get there and you're like, press 2 if you want this and 3 if you want that, and then you do it and then you get press
or when there's no something else option and none of the menu choices are what you want.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I don't want to apply for a mortgage or talk about my overdraft or buy house insurance. What I actually want to do is close an account. It's not an option. What are you going to do?
Just give up and
just rage.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's actually a tactic. They don't want people to close their accounts, so they just make it impossible to do so. Anyway, so that's a good example. What would be one of your hot buttons, Joe?
Pride in stupidity.
Pride in stupidity. Could you give me an example?
People who delight in the fact that they aren't very good at maths or they don't understand what's going on in the world.
Oh, you're talking about Chris Moyles.
Yeah, celebrating idiocy is definitely in there. Get letters about that as well now.
No, willful idiocy though.
Yeah, willful like delight in stupidity is something that annoys me. I don't mind people who don't know things. Yeah. But people who are chuffed that they don't know something is just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, for me, the assumption that all women want pink things.
Oh, that is a good one.
I'm not talking about like funky hot pink, that kind of bright, sassy, bright pink, because I quite like that colour. I'm talking about that insipid baby fucking pink that they make things that are like this is tools made for women, which by the way is a legitimate thing because we have smaller hands. Generally have smaller hands, and we have a slightly different way of moving and sitting because of our, physiology.
I like motorbike gear as well. There's bloody pink helmets and pink leathers, but
it's not like bright hot pink. It's not like fuck you pink. It's pink.
I'm a princess.
Yes, it's princess pink. That's what it is. So yeah, that gets me ragey.
Okay, good. Send us your hot button ragey points, people.
Yeah, send us your hot button ragey points in respect to growing your business. Oof. You see what I did there?
Yeah.
So yeah, listen to people. And if you're somebody who sells motorbike gear and stuff, you should pick up on the fact that I don't want princess pink stuff. I just want stuff that fits me.
Yeah.
And by the way, that is well made enough to protect me if I happen to be sliding down the road on my butt. Because that's the other thing. Women's stuff, I think, sometimes doesn't seem to be as well made. Because obviously we don't ride the motorbikes.
Oh, God, no. You'd probably just wear the kit once in a while when you sit on the back of the bike with, as a pillion.
I know, right? Except I'd never do that. Anyway, so yeah, make a mental note of someone's hooks and hot buttons. Listen to them when they talk. Make a note of what annoys them, because the more information we have about a subject, the more power we have. And that is, especially true when it comes to selling people stuff. Really. So, and by steering the discussion toward hooks and away from hot buttons. So you rile them up with the hot buttons, show them that you understand what they're feeling, and accept that even if it's ridiculous,
it's valid.
It's valid. Yeah, you're not necessarily saying this is a reasonable way to feel. You're saying the way you feel is valid, because it is. The way people feel is valid. You can't. It's like when you're listening to somebody talk about their ridiculous ex-boyfriend or their boyfriend who has really done something really, mean to them and made them feel like shit. You can't sit there and say to them, oh, you don't have to feel like that because he's not worth it. It's like, but you do feel like that. So telling somebody they don't have to feel like that is rude. And it's, it's silly. And that also applies with marketing your stuff because, you
can't tell people their feelings are wrong.
No, because they just are. They're neither right nor wrong.
People feel.
Yeah, that's what they are. So you have to validate their feelings and say, I understand that this is how you feel. Even if secretly you think it's ridiculous. That's not the point. You say, it sounds like you feel like this. That sounds awful. And you validate it and you show them that you understand. And that's all good. And then from there, you steer them in the direction of their hooks, the things that make them happy, which is going to be the solution to their problems, and I hate the word solution. I can't believe I just said that. Which is going to be you. Well, not you.
Not me personally.
Probably not you.
No.
If I'm a canning factory, maybe.
Yes, I could solve those problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you need to you need to show people you understand what they care about. And that's not always as easy as it seems. You also need to show them that, you understand what makes them angry and also what makes them laugh and gives them the warm and fuzzies too. Because once you've made them angry, then you have to make them feel warm and fuzzy.
It's like an emotional roller coaster, conversations with you.
It is. But people are emotional roller coasters. This is how people are, except for you with your goldfish. So yeah, I mean, all this really is about getting to know your ideal client deeply and understanding them. It's not just enough to get to know them. You have to understand them and you have to put the groundwork in. And, you're not necessarily going to be able to get to know everybody, but everybody will have commonalities. There will be things in every industry that piss people off.
For sure.
So, like builders who leave jobs half done and messes everywhere and don't get back to you and that kind of thing. And then you make your marketing all about them. Always put them at the front and centre of everything that you do. Basically, get their feelings out in the open, get them to like you, get them to trust you, build up a good old rage for the things that make them ragey, and then make them want however it is that you're going to help them. Simple as that, really. Steer them towards the answer. And the other thing that we need to kind of stop doing, because a lot of marketing does this, they focus on proving that I'm right and you're wrong. Okay. And we're probably kind of getting into building rapport, so I'm just going to kind of tease this for next week. We'll talk a little bit about why it's not about who's right and who's wrong. It's not about pointing the finger, even if in your head it is. Okay. When it's out there, you can't do it like that, because pointing out people's shortcomings is a really good way to get them to dislike you.
You're wrong because...
Yeah. If people were entirely rational, that would work. But people are not rational. So it doesn't work.
And I'm usually not wrong.
That's hilarious. So yeah, show them how to show them you understand their pain, because from that empathy, you can start to build a rapport with them. And next week, Joe's going to explain to you all about rapport, aren't you?
Am I?
You looked really scared then. That was funny. So next week we'll be talking about the next stage in hostage negotiation and in persuasion, which is building rapport.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds easy.
Easy peasy, once you've done the active listening and the empathy.
Cool. You're most of the way there.
I know. So yeah, that's it really. So what's on the menu for people this week? I reckon if people want to borrow my brain, they should do that, because I've had a few queries about working with people, and I'm super busy, because this is what always happens, by the way. You've got enough work on, and then you think, I should start looking for a new client here and there, and then 53 people come along and say, you're awesome, can you do some copywriting for me? And I'm like, no. So some of it I pass on to my inner circle members, the ones who are copywriters, because I like to pay it forward, because I've been given a lot of opportunities by my mentors. Some of it I want to take on myself, and some of it I think, actually, you don't need a copywriter. What you need is to borrow my brain.
Cool.
So if you have a thorny problem, or you're stuck for ideas, or you can't see a way of doing something, or you think, I don't want to do it like everybody else, get in touch. Go to businessforsuperheroes.com/borrow-my-brain, because I come up with stuff that nobody else could think of in a million years.
That's a big claim.
Occasionally I do.
It's
I'm not saying that everything I come up with is...
Have you got some of the feedback testimonials in there?
I need to update that page, actually.
You need to update that page, because we've had some really nice feedback from that.
I have. I've had people. It's made me blush. It's brought a tear to my eye.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, borrow my brain, people. And next week we'll be back. We'll be talking more hostage negotiation, less exploding underwear, more rapport.
More rapport.
Yeah.
We're going to need to get a glass of wine in.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do actually, couldn't we? Yeah. Yeah, so have a good week. If you be good, if you can't be good, be careful. Thanks very much, Joe.
No worries.
Bye.
Bye.
Like what you've just heard? Tell your colleagues, tell your friends, send them to www.businessforsuperheroes.com/podcast.